is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah. Well, I never bust a chain or me never pick a pocket. Never see a old man bag and try grab it. Everything me have, you know me work hard for it. So why some dirty nigga bad mind me for it?
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Epic Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muff the World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
Them wonder how me things them severe. Them want kill me for the carry me a steer. But me heart no dirty. Me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty.
And welcome to a Friday Talking Heads. Yeah, this is Pearly in the house filling in for Naughty. It's a little bit under the weather. We all know that beating the Cowboys him, so tell anybody that, don't tell anybody he's upset because the Cowboys lost. But I'm so sorry Naughty can't be here today, but I'm here filling in. It's so good to be with you. It's another hot day. It's a lot of rain we've been getting the last couple of days, but I got a special guest in here with me today. But just before we do that, I'll tell you how you can become a Talking Head.
Here's how you can become a Talking Head, brought to you by BTC.
And you could just simply pick up your phone and you dial 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or from the Family Islands toll-free 242-300-5720. And of course, you can always text on the text line powered by BTC 422-4796. 422-4796. How you doing? I am so happy to be here with you today. I mean, in the baseball terms, to come here and pinch hit for Naughty today. Hopefully I'll do what Will Smith did last week and give him a walk-off home run. But let's see what's going on in the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
In the Guardian this morning, headlines: government bars Haitians seeking U.S. visas. Haitians among interesting, very interesting. Integra breaks ground in Rosewood, Exuma. Murder victim was being electronically monitored. And Pintard says government plans for BPL employees to work for BGC were doomed from the start. Doomed. Now, I hear I hear the Prime Minister say, I hear the statement from the office of the Prime Minister saying that government bar Haitians seeking U.S. visas. 3 flights a week still coming in, though. So I'm trying to figure out how is that going to work. If you come in, I don't know. That I want to know how it works, because you get 3 flights coming in a week, yet Asians bar. So are we stopping the flights? But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. In the words of a friend, I digress. I have a very special guest in here with me today. And Naughty called and says, "Hey, Pearly, I need you to fill in for me." And he says, "This is my guest." I say, "Oh, I'm going to have some fun today." Welcome, Heather McDonald, the F&M candidate for Angliston, and a very, very dear friend. How are you doing today? Welcome to Talking Heads.
I'm doing well. It's good to be back, Pearly. It's wonderful to be here on the Guardian Radio to talk about some issues. Normally, I don't come in the capacity of politics.
I know.
This is the first time.
This is good. I don't think this can be weird.
Yes, sir. But I liked how you opened talking about the U.S. Embassy's announcement. Mm-hmm. And I know you say you didn't want to touch on it, but I like to live dangerously.
Go ahead.
You know? Here's the thing with that. The U.S. Embassy decision without speaking to the Bahamas Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
Because that is a big decision. They're not just going to say that without informing Foreign Affairs. So I just feel as though that the government continues to not be transparent with the Bahamian people. A simple conversation or just saying, hey, We were in talks. Yes, they brought this to our attention, but it's not finalized as yet. And we continue to hear 3 different stories from this government whenever issues like this appear. You hear one thing coming from the press secretary, another thing coming from the prime minister, and another thing coming from the minister. Sometimes I just be like, will the real government in the Bahamas please stand up? Who should we believe?
Real talk. And that's what I find interesting, that the U.S. Embassy would just make this announcement and with not having any consultation with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, at least that, or at least the maybe the Consular General or the High Commissioner in Washington, to say this is what our plans are and we can let you know. But then again it goes wide open.
I believe the conversation was had, because you're dealing with the United States. This is no jokey country. This is one of the biggest, they call themselves the free world, and so I'm sure that conversation was had or noticed, but we do have a prime minister that doesn't like to open up his emails or read the traveling, so maybe the letter was on his desk and he was away and he wasn't able to get to that at that time. But nevertheless, I'm sure we have a foreign affairs minister. How many times he was foreign affairs minister now? 3 times?
I think this is third, yeah.
This is his 3rd time.
12, yeah.
Something like this shouldn't slip. And I believe the conversation was had, and what is happening now is something that this government continues to do is they roll back on things. We saw that with so many, we're seeing that now with the deals that what happened with BPL. We see that with the deal in Exuma. They say one thing, and when they see the reaction of the country, they roll it back.
182 million investment.
Exactly. And they say, I never said it was a surplus. I never said that, even though they got caught in 4K live on the video. And we have so many front page news articles after the date they said that. We need more honest people in politics, and we need persons, when they say something, they're going to follow through. Because as a Bahamian, forget about the political parties. As a Bahamian, I'm very concerned. It seems like our government cannot continue on once they say they'll do something. So I feel like I getting seasick, when you're on a cruise ship and the ship just rough and it's rough tides. I'm starting to get a little seasick because we keep wobbling. Come on, stand 10 toes down. If you say that's what you all agree with the U.S. Embassy, man, be strong, be wrong, and strong if you could be wrong.
I think that Bahamian people want somebody who's honest. Tell me who Heather McDonald is. When I went, the first time I went to Long Island, the man said, Bala, who you for? So I said, Bala, tell me who you for. Tell me something about her. Who's Heather McDonald? Who's this young lady who's politically aspiring to be a member of parliament in the country and maybe a minister or whatever? But who's Heather?
Well, Heather McDonald is someone that believes about empowering Bahamian people. In the past, when I came on Guardian Radio so many times, I've been coming here for years now, it's always about empowerment and bringing the best version of yourself out.
Okay.
Because I do believe in the Bahamas, we have a serious brain drain. I started to notice it, say, in the 90s when I was still in, before I graduated high school, and in the early 2000s, we saw the great brain drain. We had so many kids that went off to college, If you look at the time between, I'd say 1997 to 2010, so many people went off to college. But how many of them came back?
Yeah, a lot of kids aren't coming back home.
So what we need to do is we need to create a space where our college students want to come back, where they have opportunities. And, I see so much potential in people in Angleston. Angleston is a great constituency. Lots of culture there, lots of history there. What I love is when I knock on a door and I meet someone in Angleston and they tell me, I've been living in Angleston for 60 years, for 50 years, And I love to hear that. But when I move on to ask them, so in the last 50 years, how have you seen Angleston change? And the response is always the same. Well, it's nothing much. Nothing much has changed. One of the persons that I spoke to say, the only thing that changed is people changed the paint on their house. And that's about it. You
understand? I mean, and I can be frank, this is a powerhouse PLP seat that they've held. I don't think the Free National Movement has ever won that seat.
No, the PLP held that seat for 48 years.
So why Angleston? I mean, there are 39, 38 other seats that you could have probably want to work in or try. I mean, but Angleston, why Angleston?
Well, I'll tell you, story time.
Okay.
my YEP group. Shout out to all of the YEP students out there. I know you guys are signing up.
Some of us, not all of us know what
The
YEP
Youth
is.
Empowerment Program.
Okay.
I know they're going to be in all the high schools probably starting week after next.
Okay.
To sign students up. I'm not going to be there as a district manager this year, but I will still be on various committees helping out.
Okay.
Sign your students up. Great program. But my district was sent in the Central District.
Uh-huh.
And that was about 2022.
Okay.
I started to do work there. And then I would see things that I'll get ideas on, okay, what if this was to happen in this constituency? Let's take this constituency to the next level and do this. And I was like, and I'm having all of these ideas for Angliston. How can I make a change? And people need to understand, if you really want to make a change in the national spectrum, yes, you can do activism and volunteerism, which I've been doing since the age of when I lived in Grand Bahama and now. But if you really want to affect real change, where you want to change something from the inside out, you have to be sitting at the table in the House of Assembly to help people.
Okay.
And through my YEP students, as well as working along with the parents and some of the persons in the community, kind of fell in love with the constituency. I love it there. I have no issues there. I love the fact that I could just sit down and talk to anybody. And what I love about Angliston people is they give me real answers.
Okay.
They don't slap up at all.
Okay.
And I love that.
Okay. Wonderful. You know what? People calling. Let's take this first call. Call you on the air.
Good afternoon, Burley.
Hey, what's happening?
Grammy Boy, GNN. Good
Hey.
afternoon to your co-host.
That's Granny.
Good afternoon.
That's Granny Boy. Go ahead, Granny Boy.
Exactly. Listen to me. I ain't caping for no FNM, no PLP, but I love me. Some of your guests were on there. Trust me.
Okay.
I've been kind of following her a little bit.
Okay.
She's a stellar young lady.
She is. She's a powerful woman. Yes.
However,
She's a powerful woman. Yes.
Yeah, she's a very powerful woman, and I think if she ever gets to where she's trying to go, she'll make a difference.
Wonderful.
Okay,
And if you get a Granny Boy, endorsement, you're doing well.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you so
yeah.
much.
I
Trust me, you're doing well.
I endorse her message today.
Okay.
And she ain't talking about what the FNM do or what the PLP do.
Okay.
She's talking the fact.
Okay. Super.
Now,
Yes, sir.
the Belinda, our government, this Progressive Liberal Party government, has been caught, been weighed in the balance and found wanting many times
Yes.
in terms of their disingenuousness and
Yeah.
not speaking the truth. Because my alma mater or my classmate yesterday, Belinda, well, they punched right down with reference to the Cuban teachers and how the method they were paid.
She was really good yesterday. I listened to her.
Yes, they deceiving the Bahamian people, and now it comes round to this matter with the U.S. Embassy, and your guest said it's the same thing. There is no way the Americans would do something on this soil without letting our people know. They got to know, and they didn't just know yesterday. But I gleaning from what she's saying. That means the State Department of the United States had to have been liaising with our people over there a very long time on this matter before this come to fruition. Now, the problem is they ain't tell the Bahamian people nothing.
Yep.
But they ain't tell the Bahamian people nothing.
So
But you know
what should the Bahamian people be saying then?
Get out of our parliament. Get out.
No.
I is a conspiracy theorist sometimes, and this might
Yes, you can be.
part of
Yes.
it. This my part of it.
Okay.
You see those 3 flights to Haiti we've been complaining about?
Yes, sir.
Why you think this conspiracy now? Why you think they got them set up already? 3 flights coming out. I can understand
I
it.
can let you and my guest can spy on that one.
Yeah, okay, but thanks for not.
Thank you, Granny Boy.
Nana Boy, God.
Thank you, Nana Boy. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hey,
I can let you comment on that right now.
on a Friday.
I'm pretty good, my brother. How you doing? Cowboys got beat last night, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I see that. And let me say good afternoon to someone who I hope to meet, shake her hand, and get to know her a little better.
Okay.
Already loving this conversation, although it's just the beginning of the show. But so far, some very interesting things have already been mentioned.
Yes,
the flights to Haiti is something that a lot of Bahamians are very concerned with. Free flights today, coming full. going back empty.
3 flights a week. Don't do them like that. 3 flights a week, not a day.
3 flights a week.
Yeah.
Coming full, going back empty. This
Is it really going? Are they going back empty? Because somebody said they coming full and they're going full.
Well, according to the photographs that I see circulating online, it shows unless people are being mischievous, it shows that the flights are going back empty.
I don't know. I heard somebody say, and I don't want to call the person's name, but they said the flight's coming full and they going full. So I just, all
I can do is tell you the photographs what I saw.
Okay, and if anybody else knows, they can let us know.
All of that, you talk about the brain drain in this country, and you're absolutely correct on that. The brain drain is people have spent their money to go off to college and university, even getting tertiary and other things, other vocational stuff. They come back home to be told that there's no space, or to be seconded to say, well, hey, you're overqualified, or to say, hey, the position you can have it, but you're not expected to be paid at the level that you anticipate, especially if you have done your homework from, let's say, for instance, a Princeton or something, you know what the salary levels are over there, and don't give me the garbage about, over there their economy is totally different. If we want to fix the Bahamas for Bahamians, we will begin to fix the salary ranges in this country, because that's where it starts from. The finances for the people's education, as well as the standard of living in this country. We don't have a livable wage. We have a minimum wage. And yet we can't even get that right. And it's not for the matter that we cannot get it right, but because we are dictated to in so many ways that you got your education. And let me just close on this. I mean, you don't even have to go off to college or university. But the mere fact that you're smart enough to move, to do a particular function or a job or something, you have the expertise, you take it upon yourself to do training and also to get further education on your own, to be told that still you can't get the salary or you can't get the position, or somebody has to fill in the position that you could have, but because you're not the right, I stop that there. You won't get the position. We have to fix this country for Bahamians.
We do. I agree with you 100. If there's only one thing I ever agree with you in, I agree with you in this 100%. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I agree with the caller. He's speaking truth to power. And what we need to understand with this brain drain situation, one of the core reasons why we have so many people not coming back, especially in the government sector, is there's too much bottlenecking. You have, when persons retire, they get their pension, they go home, and then we have persons in government bringing 70-year-old people back on the job. They collect their pension, and then they're still being paid, or they're brought back on contract. So what is that saying to a young Bahamian professional who has their master's degree, or their doctorate degree, or their bachelor's, and also have experience? I'm talking to some persons in my age demographic, and they say, Heather, I don't want to go in the government sector. We say we have a lot of complaints with the government sector, and we have some brilliant Bahamians that can improve those areas, but they're not going to go because, one, they're not going to be paid their value, and two, they're not going to be able to move up the corporate ladder because you have 70-year-olds and sometimes 80-year-olds still sitting in these positions, and they know I will never get an opportunity to rise.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Why should I even go through this process? If we're really saying we want to be an innovative country and we really want to move in the 21st century, we need to say thank you so much for all you have done for the government sector. Let's give them a wonderful banquet. Let's give them their pearls and let's say thank you. Now we need to start promoting some people who've been here for a long time, who's qualified. It's time for them to rise. And we need to create some sort of law and policy. Once you retire, you cannot come back. You can't come back as a consultant, and you definitely can't come back on the job to work. It's not fair. We still have bright people who could come in and do consultant work. Why are we continuing the cycle of feeding the same sharks? Because that's exactly what it is. You're making one family rich over and over again. They just patiently wait for their government to get in so they could get back on the job. You have certain government workers, you could be retired 3 times.
Yeah.
3 and 2 times. It's ridiculous. There needs to be some sort of reform when it comes to retirement policy in the public sector.
Call you on the air. How you doing?
Good afternoon, brother. Yeah, I don't know. This the lady, this name of Heather Hunt?
No,
this is
this
Heather
Heather
McDonald. Both beautiful ladies, but this
McDonald, my grandfather is a McDonald from Cat Island, and I know who's who, but
We're all related.
yeah, they have us all confused about who, where we come from. But one thing I'd say about the drain brain, right? I'll be naive and foolish to say it's not affecting the country, right? But no one can drain my brain. But it's just a joke. But I wanted to comment on something that GNN showed out there, and so I would just like for the young lady to comment. And so I have no problem with listening to younger people. Once it's, because common sense is common sense. Now, an old person, I might need him to show me the trail by trying to find an old location, right?
I gotcha.
But
old broom know where the dirt
I
lies.
just like for the show in the mix as it relates to this migrant problem. And this, and Anton was making some sense today, but apparently no one was saying what Anton was saying. But I know Anton is not geopolitically naive, as he was talking about the imposition. So people was, of course, Anton know that the embassy is a sovereign within the country, like where it exists physically in the space and all of that. But he was talking about the imposition of this position that they impose on the government. Somebody said, GNN said, it would be naive to believe that they didn't have a dialogue with the government, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
We have an embassy in Haiti, right, Pearlie?
No, it's the Bahamas, yes.
It's closing.
No, the Bahamas embassy is open.
The U.S. Embassy
Yes,
in
so that's what
Haiti
I'm
is
trying to find out
closed.
now. I was wondering what's the purpose for that if we can have this. So then I looked at months ago.
Wait, 52. Now, 52. You know
many folks read this.
52, hold on a sec. 52. Give me a sec. Just so it can be some clarity. You know that the United States Embassy in Haiti is closed, so that is why, based on the new policy policy, the Americans say you have to apply for your visa in your home country. And because there's no U.S. Embassy in Haiti, they're saying that the Haitians can come to Nassau to circumvent anybody else, like Jamaica.
But there is a U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic. 2 hours away. 2 hour drive from Port-au-Prince.
What I'm saying is that there's a few questions that arose for me.
Go ahead.
What is the purpose of the embassy there? And so is this
No, this has nothing to do with our embassy now. This is the U.S. embassy.
No, but I'm saying, buddy, I know that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, why can't we use our embassy over there? What's the purpose for that? Just I'm thinking. I'm ignorant, I'm just trying to ask some questions here.
I'll allow Heather to answer that for you.
Okay, I will answer that for you because
as a result of this thing from the Trump administration, right? What I'm saying is there any reason to believe that because we have so much fraudulent documents within the 3,000 something that they are demographed, right? As it relates to the demographics are most likely to overstay their visas. Is this because they're seeing too much fraudulent documents within that 3,000 and something, or they don't trust our documents? They've seen a proliferation of fraudulent documents, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying?
No, I think it's more based on the Americans can't work, and I think it's more based on the Americans cannot work in our embassy, and vice versa. Nothing more other than that.
Yes, American can work in the Bahamas embassy, Caller.
Oh.
So the nearest U.S. embassy to Haiti is actually the Dominican Republic. So the best option for them would be to try. They don't even catch plane.
But I think Dominicans have the border closed.
Yeah, but
I want to comment with something Andon is talking about. To me, Andon is correct as it relates to sovereignty, but even though we have this physical space there by the embassy.
But just like how you can't go to the U.S. embassy to get a Bahamian visa.
Sovereignty does not exist geopolitically if you cannot enforce it. If you look at the Iron Mountain Report, it explains all of that. We don't like that. We learn from another. That's our problem right there as Negroes. We just like to sit and talk. Give thanks. Yeah.
Take time.
Well, that's interesting.
Call you on the air.
Hey, Heather and Pearlie.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
I just looking to see all y'all, and I go through the pearly gates and will see two of you right there.
All right.
I won't meet you there. I don't want to be there first.
Okay, but Pearlie, I probably can get there before you. Listen up, man. I worked in Angliston as an insurance. You thinking about Angliston, right?
I used the policy man.
Yeah.
I heard some songs, but I ain't saying that.
And I was trying to sell an insurance to a PLP.
Okay.
And I made a mistake and started talking too deep into politics and religion.
Okay.
And the young lady told me, sir, if people tell me eat that cockroach, I can eat it. Well, I say, hey, let's cook it first. I'm serious, and I had to pivot in order to make that sale.
Okay, did you get the sale?
My thing is, I want to know how Heather plans on winning Angliston, because I know Angliston comprises of nationalities that are secured already by the Progressive Liberal Party on a number of fronts. You may be surprised to know that persons. Oh, by the way, there are 2 aircrafts leaving Haiti, so there are more than 2 flights get that math right. When you find out the other aircraft, then you'll be surprised.
Airline.
Well, there are three Bahamas Air flights a week. That's what I should be saying to clarify, because I think American Airlines and some others come as well.
There's some that goes more regular. Anyway,
Okay.
let's stay on Wayne and Angliston.
Yes, please.
Miss Heather, what do you intend to do to bridge that gap that seems to be created, where we have Haitians and Bahamians sort of living apart, which is what the colonialists would like to see, and they're rejoicing in the way we're doing that. Wherever we seem to settle, we just follow that. What you plan to do to bring that, because that's how you're going to get some of them PLP votes. Because some of them was at the age of 17, and they already got the passport, but they ain't using it. I'm talking about kids.
Right. I thank you for your question. And what I plan to do is to remove the veil. Angliston, one thing about the inner city is it's a melting pot.
Yes.
Not just of persons of Haitian nationality. You have Jamaicans, you have Chinese in that community.
Really?
Yeah, you have some Chinese. I met some who live in Angliston.
Okay.
You have some Filipinos, you have some Cubans. It's a melting pot along with the Bahamian persons in that community. And what we need to do is we need to stop looking. Yes, we have immigration issues. Yes. All right. But once somebody is naturalized and they're a citizen, what we need to do is we can't be xenophobic, because once you're a citizen of the Bahamas, you have an opportunity to be a part of the development and the processing of our country. So what we need to do is we need to learn how to, one, remove the xenophobia from our way of thinking, and number two, make real connections with people. One thing, even before, when I was a campaign coordinator for several person will be like, don't go to that house because that house has this nationality and this or that nationality. One thing that I do on the ground, at everybody's house.
Okay.
I don't care if you get your citizenship yet or you have it or not, because those persons have ideas. They're still living in the community and they still have concerns, and we need to hear them out. And if we really want to be effective as a government, we need to hear from the different point of views, because at the end of the day, whether a person can vote or not, they continue to impact the community. And we need to hear from all voices so we can truly create these. I know manifestos are going to roll out from all the parties soon, so we could create manifestos that the people can be in touch with. Because we find that so many political persons who are out there right now, they're very out of touch with the people. You want to know why? Because they're in their little political bubble, and it goes so far as just their party or as just the group of these people, the people who are wealthy, or just the group of people who are business persons. You got to hear from everybody. And that's one thing I want to do to bridge the gap, not just with the persons from the Haitian nationality, but to know how best to work for Angliston. And that includes everybody who either has a home in Angliston or pays rent. They live here. They either got a work permit, or they got citizenship, or they're born here. So we have to be able to include everybody in the discussion process as we make changes and make decisions for the community.
I get you, Mr. Caller?
A little secret that you should do. Hello?
Go ahead.
I want you to convince Glennis Harder Martin to walk with you through Angliston. Just walk through and let them see you two walking together.
Interesting.
Take you a little bit.
Well, I'm sure she's listening to the show right now.
Have a good day.
All right.
Mr. Producer, let's take our first break. We've been having an interesting conversation with the Free National Movement candidate for Angliston, Ms. Heather McDonald. Let's listen to these sponsors. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about why Angliston, and why did you choose to use the F&M platform as the party that you wanted to run for. This is Pearly on Filling In for Naughty today on a Friday, Talking Heads. It's Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Remember, so each one help one, so it no make sense your bad mind and next man. Sure, the gang government already and him have a next one. And nothing that if you not have one, your friend get a youth already know him get a next one. And nothing that if you not get one, go look at your land child build a foundation.
Valley, we a big deal when we touch ground. Yeah, I can see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste what we love. Barbecue, spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3-piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Go get your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left feet. Anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC Big T. I am Pepsi, KFC, it's finger licking good.
The technicians at Muffler World on Mackey Street and Robinson Road can do a lot of things to make your car perform better. Like make sure the wheels are properly aligned, and that your brakes actually work, and that your car is using the correct oil and in fact has oil. Those same techs can replace your entire exhaust system. Check out Muffler World for the top of the line Walker muffler. Now if you want your ride to sound rude, Muffler World can help you there too with a system by Flowmaster. Muffler World, Mackey Street and Robinson Road. Mufflers and a whole lot more.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time gone. Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Ambition is a privilege, nigga. Enough man have. Remember that. Bad minds are disease, choke. Some man won't catch. Yeah.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Friday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This your boy Pearly in the house with my special guest, Heather McDonald, the Free National Movement's candidate for Angleston. Let me read a couple of texts really quick. Let's get, because I try and open it, it ain't open, right? Okay, good day, Pearly. I try telling you there is plenty room in the inn. Come on down to the Steelers' home of winners. Listen, we ain't talking sports yet, but enough bickering for honesty from this administration. It's time for the COI to take the country where it should be. We want our sovereign wealth fund and our bank accounts if you believe in that. I got a bridge I can tell you. Good afternoon. Have you seen or can someone tell me where to find the rendition of the proposed Rosewood Resort for Exuma, please? Is this single-story cottages or is it a multi-story building? Also, I'd like to know where the government stands on the proposed overwater bungalows that is a part of the original plan. You teach me something that's not extra. I need the media to stop saying 3 flights per week. It's 10 flights per week. The Pearly with Lady Heather McDonald for Angleston. The Lord, our God, Jehovah is creating a government change in the Bahamas. Enough is enough. From Grand Bahama, we are listening. Bahamas there. Hold on. Good afternoon, Mr. Pearly. In my opinion, I think if Haiti, you apply there for your U.S. visa, when a date is given them, you get a Bahamian visa to travel to Bahamas. My thoughts. Bahamas there and into Caribbean. Yeah, interesting. Here we go. One last one. Are we the only society that pushes the narrative that persons over 65 have nothing to contribute? The problem is not the age. The problem is the controls. The controls should distinguish between a need in the system and retired persons who have a valuable skill that fill that need. This old-young debate is consistently used to rile up young people to take the focus off the inability to create strategies to grow the economy, to make room for everybody. And I understand your point, Dexter, and I kind of agree. It is not necessarily about the age. And if you have a position where you have young people that can do the job, why bring a retiree in unless there's a specific need? Go ahead, Heather.
You know, I notice I never said young people.
Okay.
You have persons who wait in the wings at the age of 40 and 50.
So wait on 40 and 50 and young. That's what you're trying to say.
No, what I'm saying is they're mature, seasoned individuals who have the experience and knowledge to take you to the next level. Why do you have to bring back a 70-year-old or somebody already retired at 60 where you have capable people in their 50s and their 40s right there in the government sector waiting in the wings, just waiting for their turn? Why is it that you had somebody who was a 30 years, can never get promoted to inspector or ASP? You have persons who in their 50s who still a corporal. Because the bottlenecking is a serious problem in our public sector and we need to address it. You will never see this in the private sector. You want to know why? This is why the private sector and companies in the private sector thrive, because they understand innovation. They praise and they honor the persons who were before them, but they saying, guess what? We can't keep recycling old people over and over again, because what does that do? That stops progress from moving forward.
Okay.
And we have to move forward. I'm not saying put somebody who's 20, make somebody assistant commissioner at the age of 20. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying the deserving people who've been sitting there working in the government sector for 30, 25 years, give them their shot. Make them permanent secretary. Give them the director positions. Give them the supervisor's position. How long do they have to wait? How long do they have to wait for them to be able to get the respect, pay, and honor that they deserve?
Carly on there. How you doing?
Hey, gracious, you brother. How you doing?
Ready, my brother. What's up?
Yeah, I think your guest is a very nice person, right, and a good individual, right?
Uh-huh.
I have a question for your guest, though, right?
Say it again.
Why you pick Angliston of all places?
I asked her that earlier, and she said she fell in love with Angliston.
Okay. Let's think the rationality behind it, right? How much times has Glennis Harder Martin lost in Angliston? 0.
There's always a first time for everything, you know.
Did you willingly pick Angliston, or did they put you in Angliston?
I'm glad you asked that question.
I was going to ask that question.
Because, caller, 1 second. I just want to respond to you. Nobody sent me to Angliston. And on December 18th, 2022, I made a decision to go to Angliston. I met with the executives, and they are some amazing people. Shout out to Greg, Shani, Miss Dee Dee, Blossy, and Percy, and all y'all down there. I love y'all to that. That's something. Nobody sent me there. Everybody in the F&M, even my closest friends was like, Heather, what are you thinking? My parents was like, Heather, Angliston, seriously? I felt led to go there. And the thing is about me, I love philanthropy work. I love to put myself forward. I'm not afraid of a challenge, because if God before me, who can be against me? Nothing in this life comes easy. And I'm not afraid if somebody was there for 50 years. She's going on 26 years of being the representative. Mm-hmm. And I said this when I got interviewed right off the stage. I respect her. I have the utmost respect for her. Both she and I are part of CWIL. Amazing woman, well accomplished. Have a lot of respect for her. But here's the thing. I'm not afraid to put myself forward, because as a young person, if we keep saying we're afraid to make a difference because somebody was there for many years, how can we really inspire change? I cannot look my nieces and nephews and my soon-to-be children in the future in the eye and tell them, do not be afraid of anything. The world is their oyster. If I saw someplace where I wanted to go, and I back down just because somebody told me, well, nobody won it before, and nobody's ever going to win it before until somebody wins it, and I'm going to be. And the amazing people of Angliston, we're going to do what we need to do to get that W for the people of the Bahamas, because here's the thing. Am I a part of the F&M? Yes, but I'm not doing this for the F&M. I'm doing this for the people of Angliston, because they need real change.
Ms. Hunt, between me and you...
McDonald, just correction.
You could tell Sweet Jesus I wasn't picking that spot. I rather run against Fred Mitchell than Glennis.
That's okay.
Guess what? Between me and you, before I pick Angliston, right? Me and Pintar was playing rock, paper, scissors, or solitaire, or some type of game before I get that spot. I wasn't willingly going there.
Well, you know, I guess that's the difference between you and Heather. She chose to take this fight on, and I admire her for this. And I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. I'm one of those persons, and another hat, I'm one of the persons that say, Heather, what are you doing? Why don't you go somewhere else? I don't think, and she was adamant about it. And not one time, more than one time I spoke to her about it. And if this is the decision she made, and then she believes in her heart of hearts that she can make a difference in Angliston, then I think she should get that shot.
Because what we need to do is we need to create an environment in government whereas we're not running to win seats. We need to We need to stop that mentality where we're running because we want to win a seat. No, we need to run because we see a community that needs us and we want to make that difference. If I'm just running to win a seat, I'm not going to run. I'm going to continue to be involved with great programs that I'm already a part of. I'm a part of CWIL. I'm a part of the Youth Empowerment Program. I'm well active in the church. I'll continue to do that. But I'm not running to win a seat. I'm running because I really believe in the people of Angleton, and I truly want to make a difference. And I have some great plans for Angleton that you guys will hear about in the coming days.
Let me ask you this question. Why the F&M? Why not another party?
Man, I could tell you all stories about how I end up in the F&M. That's a long story. But I will tell you why I chose to join the F&M is because I realized when I moved to Nassau, I felt like I was an alien. Like I would bring up my views on governance and so forth. And the persons that I was around at the time, they would look at me and they'd be like, no, you're wrong. You must say he's an F&M. Like, why are these people saying that about me? Because I never was around F&M people, until one day I was invited to an F&M event. And I said, wait a second, these people have the same values when it comes to governance that I have. And I said, wow, I finally found my people that we could have discussions and we could agree to disagree. And we have some of the same value where it comes to changing certain policies in government. And that's why I joined. And shout out to the torchbearers, because it was the torchbearers that gave me my entry into the Free National Movement.
Okay. Carly on the air. How you doing?
Good day, Pearlie.
Hey, my brother.
And good day to Miss McDonald.
Hello.
Are you related to my cousin Vince McDonald from Cat Island?
All McDonalds are related. It ain't much us. Maybe it's only about 1,000 us.
Yeah, they call him Curly.
Yeah, Vince and her were pretty much a little different hue and color.
Okay.
She's bright skinned to Vince. I know Vince very well, and Arthur and Godwell.
Yeah.
I know them all.
Godwell's brother. Yes.
And their mother was my mother's sister, 2 years apart.
Okay.
Fortune Hilton, Salvador. My mother, 2 years younger than their mother.
Okay.
Okay. Miss McDonald. Yesterday, the Prime Minister said in Exome, I heard on the news today, that they have strengthened the immigration laws for Haitians coming in the country. Do you know what he meant by that? Because we don't know what he means by that.
Are you meaning what was in what we were talking about earlier on this call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A speech he made in Exome.
Yeah, he also talked about
the Rosewood development.
Yeah, and
what I really believe that the Prime Minister needs to do with a lot of these unanswered questions, because, since they've been in government, every time we have question and answer period, it's always deferred to another question and answer period. Nothing is ever answered. I really think they need to do some reports and release it to the public so we could have a clearer understanding of exactly what's going on, so we don't have to misinterpret the Prime Minister when he speaks. Prime Minister, can we get a report on immigration? Let's get a report on the Rosewood deal. Let's get a proper report of what's happening, detailed report of what's happening with regard to this U.S. Embassy situation and all that. But he said what he said in the front page news of The Guardian, The U.S. Embassy said what they said, and he came forward and he said what he said. But I just want to know whose report we can believe. I don't know who to believe as yet, but he made a statement.
Okay, and to the previous caller, does you remember the name Perry Christie and Reese Chipman in Centerville? When you talk about who has been in power for so long in a constituency.
Yep, it has happened.
One last thing. You mentioned about the personnel, them being in place and not being in government, and people being retired. It reminds me of what I learned 2 months ago of Miss Delaney being removed, quitting her job at Archives in a similar situation because she would not get any promotion with someone, not the person who was in charge, who was retired and is now director, but other people pulling her down.
Understood. Thank you, caller. There's always been a call. There's been a call that not enough women are in politics, and we need more women, and particularly in frontline politics. I mean, every political party got a bunch of women in other roles, but in frontline politics, And I think the FNM has so far ratified 9 women.
9 women so far.
Is this a sign that your leader, Michael Pintard, answering the cry of the Bahamian people that they want more women in politics?
You know, one of the reasons why I feel as though that Mr. Leader, I have the utmost respect for him. I've seen some of the great things he's done in the FNM. I was able to serve under the Minnis administration as well as Pintard. Both men did what they needed to do for that time. And kudos to both of them. They deserve their flowers. I believe that what Mr. Leader is doing, what Mr. Pintard is doing now for women has been extremely well. Even if you look at our National Party offices, this is the most female women I've seen as National Party officers in the Free National Movement ever, as well as the most young persons. If you see the amount of people who are between the ages of, say, 20 and 45, it will shock you as National Party officers. Not only that, but chairpersons for association, council reps in association. Young persons are becoming so much more active in politics, and not just that, but they're taking ownership of the party now, and they're making some new changes that I think is going to take the Free National Movement to the next level, along with Mr. Pintard, because not just being a leader, but inspiring us, you know? And so I think that I hope to see more women ratified. You know, I don't know who's up next. There's all kind of scenarios and conspiracies out there, but I really hope to see more women ratified.
I guess in this, like I say, the spirit of democracy is alive. And
yes, because if we want, women take up to about 50% of the population, or maybe a little more. There's 39 seats. There's no reason why only 4 women should be ratified, or 5. Man, give us a little more than that.
So you got 9, you got 9 so far.
I want more than that, because it's 39 seats. I want more.
Okay.
You know, why do we have 20-something men? You know, I said this to someone, and a colleague of mine, and I had to basically put him in his place. And he said that, you know, y'all always call in for women, but are these women qualified? And I said, I'm looking around in this room right now, and I see every woman, and here have a degree, every woman is an expert in their field. But I could honestly say I've seen men who were as MPs in the past, the most they have is a BJC, not even a BGCSE.
Let's take this caller before you start out. Caller, you're on the air. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Purdy, and your guests.
Good afternoon.
I have 3 questions for you guys.
Okay.
Is America and the Bahamas a sovereign nations?
Yes.
Okay. America had made the decision on the embassy, right?
On their embassy, yes.
Yeah. Okay. The Bahamas government has made a decision on our country, right?
As far as the announcement is made, yes.
Pardon me?
As far as the announcement that the government has made last night, yes.
So I'm still flabbergasted. What's the big deal? What's the problem?
Well, hear this.
Just 1 second, Purdy.
Go ahead.
That's the place that those Haitians want to go. Our government made a decision before flying. It's stated that put a stop to it right away. And I think that's a good thing that the government did.
No, I support that, and I think it's a good thing that they did, yes.
Yeah, but another thing, young persons, why the majority of young persons that come out of university or colleges want to get into the government system? When the system is already overloaded, it needs to be revamped, it needs to be looked at. You understand what I'm saying?
And I think that goes to what Mr. McDonald was saying in terms of the log jam up top, that we have a lot of people who should now, listen, you've done your 30 years, you've done your 40 years, you're 60 plus, you're 70 years old. We appreciate what you've done, but let's start moving some people. So these crew that are coming out of college, there's a place for them, and as we have a continuous role of secession. I think that's what she was alluding to.
That's all fine and good, Polly. I understand that. But what I'm saying, why, when these persons go off to college, right? Why don't they think about entrepreneurship and starting their own business when they come back from the settlement firm and getting the overloaded, needs to be fixed government system?
Well, I know when I came home from college, I wanted to do that, but I had bills. I had no job yet. I had no income yet. Whatever savings I had was spent on my college education. So you come there broke, so you can't be an entrepreneur right away unless you're blessed.
Exactly. And I could say this to the caller. I've been in college 3 times. I have a master's degree, and I could tell you, when I first came fresh out of college, I could not even afford to buy a car, because you have a lot of college students, either they're on scholarship, whether it was by grant of scholarship or they got a student loan or their parents. You have a lot of parents right now that remortgaging their homes to put their kids through college. So when they come back, they're looking for jobs so they can basically start to grow their wealth. So to think that you have some college students who are very clever, who would become entrepreneurs right away. But guess what? They're the exception and not the persons who have specialty degrees. You have a degree for public administration. That's literally a degree. So if I went to school and I studied public administration and I come back to my home country, and I have a colleague who's in London right now who has a degree in public administration, can't get a job in the Bahamas, so they have to go work in London. So we're missing out on that person, that talented Bahamian individual, because we either don't have space for them or we can't afford to pay them. And if we don't do something about this now, we're going to be having this same conversation again 10 years later. Because back in 1995, when my aunt graduated from college, they was having, and I was just in primary school, they were having that conversation back then. And now it's 2025, and we're still having this same conversation. That's a lack of innovation. And if we don't do something about this soon, our country is not going to ever catch up. We're in the 21st century, and it's time for us to start living like we're in the 21st century.
Yeah, but I must also say this to you, Mom. Listen, we are a third world country with first world status, right? We know all of this before we even go off to college, that the system is blocked up with these persons, right? But nobody's here agitating for the system to be changed. All they're agitating for is to get a position when they come.
I am agitating for it to change. That's what I'm here for right now. So it takes, but here's the thing, it takes one. I remember there was a song that we sung in preschool. It only takes a spark to get the fire growing. You need one spark. I don't need 10 people. I don't need 20 people. If I have to be the one person standing up in the gap to speak on behalf of people in the public sector, then I'm going to be that one person. And I'm going to fight for this. And this is why I need you to vote for Heather McDonald in 2026 for the Angliston constituency.
Madam, I'm going to tell you this right now.
10 seconds, go fast.
The politics part of it, but Glennis ain't going nowhere. I might still tell you that. And I'm not saying that taking up for Glennis. I'm saying that because I've seen the attitude of those persons in Angliston. They love Glennis to death. Have a nice day.
That's okay. One thing I love about my God controls the heart of man, and he could turn it any which way he please. I believe that Angliston people are talented. They have rich in culture. They're smart people. They're not going to just vote for somebody just because, but they're going to have hope again. And they're going to believe in the Free National Movement. They're going to believe in Heather McDonald. And we are going to make a difference in Angliston together.
Heather McDonald, one last text I'm going to read. Hey, Pearlie, thanks for bringing on Miss McDonald. She's a brilliant, and she's not Mrs., she's Miss. Miss McDonald, she's a brilliant, and she is refreshing and is filled with energy and charisma. Miss McDonald, keep pushing. You are the right person for the job. I want to thank my special guest, Heather McDonald, for joining me today. It was wonderful having you here. You must come back.
Yes, always.
Okay, you must come back. We look forward to seeing you here again. You've been listening to Talking Heads on a Friday afternoon. This is Pearlie on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. When I get back, Naughty will be with us via Zoom. I hope he sounds all right. But let me talk some football. Those Dallas beaten. We'll be back right after the news. Thanks again, Heather.
All right, thank you.
I will never go just for your queen. Me heart no dirty, me heart clean, clean like the water from the stream. Me mind no dirty.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
You're listening to the Guardian News Network update on the hour. As part of its $200 million Rosewood Resort development, Integra Group has committed to contribute funding to the redevelopment of the Black Point Airport and construction of a new dock and ferry terminal there. The company CEO Felipe McLean said that new airport will be critical to his development.
Black Point is going to be the point of entry for all of our guests. We need a proper airport, an airport that can, service our clientele, and we're going to do anything that we can so that airport is at the standard that we want.
In other news, admitting tourist arrival numbers are soft right now. Tourism Minister Chester Cooper says he is cautiously optimistic his ministry's efforts to counter travel hesitancy among Americans will result in better numbers this fall.
And we are extending airlift out of Canada. We used to have 26 flights. We now have 36 flights. Do we want more stopover? Absolutely, yes. So we're putting in strategies in place plus that. So in the fourth quarter, we anticipate will be reasonably strong.
He says while we're falling behind last year's numbers on air arrivals, we are ahead significantly on the cruise passenger count. And National Security Minister Wayne Munro confirms government's effort to secure more fire engines for the police force has crossed a critical hurdle.
Public Procurement Board has approved the purchase. I was notified of that this week. I signed off on the cabinet paper to hopefully make the cabinet agenda next week.
He says they're working now to ensure they have adequate space to appropriately house those fire trucks when they arrive. Back in June, Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles confirmed that she had requested government purchase 21 firefighting vehicles and equipment at an estimated cost of $12 million. That's what's making headlines at this hour. AP Update is next.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The new Guardian Radio Sunday is here with a full day of diverse programming, kicking off with the first and last word in sports, the Press Box with Naughty and Earl the Pearl, followed by Temple Time, Caribbean and Urban American gospel hits, Vital Voices, Sisters in Christ, and Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, Remark with Garth Roseborough. Let's talk together in English with 11 a.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. Stocks finished lower. The Dow down 220 points. The drop came after the Labor Department announced the unemployment rate ticked up last month and only 22,000 jobs were added. Mark Hamrick at Bankrate.com says it's a lackluster report.
This is a no-fire, no-hire job market, and it's one where recently consumers and, let's say, workers have been enunciating their falling confidence in the economy broadly, and the job market is part of that.
The weak numbers make it all but certain the Federal Reserve will cut its benchmark interest rate at its next meeting in about a week. Under Chair Jerome Powell, the Fed has been reluctant to cut rates until it sees what impact President Trump's tariffs have on inflation. Lower borrowing costs could encourage consumers and businesses to spend and invest. A judge has blocked the Trump administration's ending of legal protections for more than 1 million Venezuelans and Haitians. I'm Ed Donahue.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich craving is real, and it's making everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra-large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Battery, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
And welcome back to our Talking Heads Friday. Yes, this is your boy Pearly in the house filling in. I expect Naughty to join us in a minute, but just before we get to Naughty, let me do this today in sports history because I really don't want Jeff calling the route. Today is Friday. It's September 5th, 2025, and today in sports history in 1901, the National Association of Professional Baseball League was formed in Chicago, Illinois. It was the first organized baseball league. In 1906, Branberry Robinson of St. Louis University was recognized as throwing the first forward pass in football history. In 1914, Babe Ruth hit the first home run as a professional player in the International League. In 1918, Babe Ruth, Boston Red Sox, threw a six-hitter in the opening game of the World Series. In 1920, Bill Tilden won the first of 7 U.S. Open men's single crowns. In 1955, Don Newcomb of the Brooklyn Dodgers hit his seventh home run of the season. The feat set a National League record for home runs by a pitcher. In 1960, Cassius Clay won the gold medal as the light heavyweight boxer in the Olympic Games in Rome, Italy. Clay later changed his name to Muhammad Ali. In 1971, J.R. Richards of the Houston Astros tied Carl Spooner's record for when he struck out 15 batters in his Major League Baseball debut. In 1972, Arab guerrillas, the Black September movement, attacked the Israeli delegation at the Munich Olympic Games. 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team, 5 guerrillas, and a police officer were killed in the siege. In New York, Martina Navratilova appeared in the at the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service office and asked for political asylum. In 1983, Sports Illustrated became the first national weekly magazine to use 4 color-processed illustration on every page. In 1987, John McEnroe was fined $17,500 and suspended for 2 months for his behavior during a match with Soloblin Djokovic. In 1989, Chris Evert retired from professional tennis after a 19-year career. Don't laugh at me, Mr. Producer. In 1997, the Fox Group announced the deal to purchase the Los Angeles Dodgers. In 1998, Mark McGwire of the St. Louis, there's a lot, couple more. Mark McGwire hit his 60th home run of the season. The home run tied the McGwire with Babe Ruth. In 1998, Sammy Sosa of the Chicago Cubs hit his 58th home run of the season. In 1999, the Cincinnati Reds set a major league record for home runs in 2 consecutive games. The team hit 14 home runs over 2 games at Veterans Stadium. In 2001, the New York Islanders signed Alex Yashin to a 10-year, $90 million contract. It was the biggest in NHL history. And finally, in 2002, in New York, the NFL held a concert to celebrate its season opener. Eve, Alicia Keys, Bon Jovi, Enrico Iglesias, and NSYNC, Joe Fenton performed. The event preceded the rare Thursday night opener between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Sports Illustrated said the sports quote of the day, setting a goal is not the main thing. It is deciding how you will go about achieving it and staying with the plan. Tom Landry. And on that note, it is so good to have you here with me. And just before we bring Mr. Naughty on, let's just take a quick look at the home front. Lockhart places second in 2025 IAME Grand Nationals. Bahamian go-kart racing aims to take the international circuit by storm. Wow. Okay. Denzel Daxon joins Cardinals practice squad, and Roberts appointed to World Aquatics Technical Committee. Some good things happening. We actually got a Bahamian now on the practice squad, which is one step, only one injury away from making it to the 53-man roster. Good afternoon, good day. So good to be here with you. Let's talk about who's in and who's out, and who's in is Naughty. Naughty, welcome to Talking Heads on a Friday. This is kind of odd being the other way around.
Hey, Purdy, what's good, man? I appreciate you covering for me, man, allowing me to, entertain some folks and make sure that that, was well entertained. And I haven't done stand-up in a minute, man. So, I appreciate you, allowing me to do that. I had to knock the rust off a little bit, but I still got it. But listen, let me make it, because I got a dash, but I just wanted to check in and let you know, first and foremost, I told you I needed some time to see who the Cowboys were, correct?
Now you tell me you're not making an assessment on game 1,
No. I'm definitely not. Definitely.
Okay.
I will make an assessment on one person, Coach Marty Schottenheimer.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we go. Okay.
No, Burley. In all fairness, I get the man credit.
Mr. Producer, I want you to mark the start and the end of this piece right here, and I want you to clip that for me, because I want to hold this for when November comes around and he cussing Schottenheimer, we know better. Okay, go ahead, Naughty.
No, Burley, because I told you I made it a point to give this man a benefit of the doubt.
You sure did. No, you sure did. I'm only messing with you. You sure did.
He said the right things. He's done the right things in the offseason. The offense last night, in the first half, they stood toe-to-toe with the world champion Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's on tape.
Yeah, no, I know it's on tape. Missing a couple players, but I know it's on tape.
I know that we got a great gift by them losing, Carter early on in the game.
That was so stupid. That was
absolute idiocy.
Oh,
idiocy.
If he wasn't that good, I would have cut him.
To do that and make that mistake, but I think he's gonna learn today. I don't think they'll have that problem out of him no more. Yeah, that allowed Dallas to do some other things, but nonetheless, Dak Prescott had a different look.
Yes, he
commanded the offense.
He did.
That was Schottenheimer in his ear when he had that MVP run, almost MVP season, a couple of seasons back before the injury. It was Schottenheimer who was the offensive coordinator.
But you know what I saw as a good sign? His movement in the pocket. Correct. His moving to the left, moving to the right. I thought I looked at that and I was like, his hamstring looked pretty good, but I was impressed with it. Last year, this time he was not moving around the pocket like that, and I like what I saw in that.
And Schottenheimer came in. He called up some good offensive plays. Obviously, those that were working for us with the motion and stuff years ago that McCarthy used to shun were obviously Schottenheimer's plays.
Yeah.
One's more effective. Something else I saw from Schottenheimer last night, he made in-game adjustments.
Yes.
I haven't seen that under the McCarthy era at all.
Yes.
Back even to Jason Garrett, he wasn't doing it. And I was very impressed how they went after something that was wrong.
Yeah.
And they tried to fix it.
Yeah.
Now.
And they took advantage of some weaknesses but the fact that Carter wasn't there, they took advantage of some weakness. Their running lanes were wide open a lot.
And then other in-game adjustments, credit has to be given to Matt Eberflus, too, because in the second half, both defenses stepped up. Yeah, they had the hour delay, but nonetheless, it was a different ballgame in the second half.
Yeah, it was.
Only 3 points scored. The defense played. Now, I have to go on record and say, Saquon Barkley, 18 carries, 60 yards, 3.3 yards per carry average, and a touchdown. That is not Saquon Barkley-like numbers. Only one time last year in his 2,000-yard quest did he have a 60-burger.
Yeah.
Dallas held him to a 60-burger out the gate. Kenny Clark, big run stops and half a sack.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He played well. You can see the defense playing noticeably different. More voices were being heard on the back end of that defense. Safeties, Malik Hooker, and they were actually stepping up and making plays and kind of calling out the defense and keeping them alert. The linebackers played well, and the committee by rotation. Did Sam Williams played well?
Yes, Sam was good. I noticed it. But two other players caught my eye last night. Ferguson, your tight end. I thought he's going to bring something special to Dallas. I don't know about his blocking, but his catching was pretty good last night. And I called him Turpentine. I thought Turpin was
Kevontae Turpin. Yeah, I think he's going to make it a lot of dynamic.
He's fast. So I was impressed with those two. So I'd be very honest with you, Naughty. I expected Dallas to get wiped out because I took the points. I thought Dallas was going to be wiped out yesterday. I thought Philadelphia would have been all over them. Two things I saw: the Dallas that I expected was not what I saw. I'm very impressed with what I saw. So I'm not gonna judge you just yet because that was a division game against your arch rivals. They're also coming off the high of being the Super Bowl champ, so let's take a little bad for them. But Dallas looked pretty good yesterday, and if that's any indication of what's to come, y'all could be all right.
And you won't see CD. And you know what CD problem was last night? He couldn't CD ball. That's why he dropped it 4
goodness.
times.
He just had one of those catches would have made the difference in that game. Just one of the 3 he dropped.
That's the danger of preseason games. Instead of having the preseason games, they should make them regular season games, lengthen the regular season, and that way you have it. Okay, maybe the first week he ain't gonna play, but that don't really matter because that's considered preseason. But then from there on out, you're playing.
Yeah.
Make it count for something.
Yeah.
You take a month off. I don't care how many routes you run on the side and how much catches off the jug machine you make. That's not live game action. And that last night was just pure rust.
Oh.
I loved his accountability in the end. He owned it. He ate it. He swallowed it. He said he'd be back and be better.
Yeah, he did.
I like what I saw from George Pickens last night. I like what I saw from the young offensive line in Dallas. They were very impressive. They did a good job. Minus Jalen Carter, albeit. So...
Yeah, I wanted a few more points of the Pickens, but that's all right.
Don't worry, that coming pretty, I promise you.
Okay.
Do I feel confident going into next week's game against the Giants and considering how we own them and we're playing at home? Yes, I do.
Yeah, you should. You should beat the Giants next week.
It's somebody who I know, but I would like us to be 1-1 after week 2 and be prepared for the next 2 weeks where we have stiffer competition, and especially week 4 on the 28th of September when we come to Dallas. I want this Cowboy defense to be ready. I think Eberflus is on the way to having a good unit. And I think the offense, barring injury, should be solid.
But even though you held Barkley, didn't you guys give up a lot of runs, a lot of yardage on the ground yesterday?
No, actually, Purdy, I did the research. I did the stats.
Okay.
Only for the game, 149 total for the game. The majority of the rushing came from Jalen Hurts. But when you consider Dallas ran for $129 or $130 on their own, which we hadn't really done last year, it kind of crossed things out. But Jalen Hurts was the undoing in that first half.
I loved him last night. I had a man crush on Jalen Hurts last night. I had a big man crush on him last night.
Overshare.
But no, I have to. No. On a real talk, the brother gave me 80 points last night. Naughty. Who wouldn't have a man crush on him?
Yeah, I know. Doc gave me a ton in that league too, but.
So I mean, and let me over here. Let's say that's a football man crush, people. Let's get that in your head now. Fantasy football man crush. Let's get that right.
But if people, like I said, I'm gonna need a couple weeks to figure Dallas out.
Yeah.
I think the culture has definitely changed in the locker room. I think Schottenheimer has a plan. His coaches are bought in and they know what they're doing. I think you're going to see improvements all season long from the younger players. I think playoff berth.
The defense was very boisterous. They were coming on. When they came on the field for the beginning of the half, they were shouting, "Unleash us, unleash us, unleash us." And they were very loud and very, very, they communicated a lot. I don't know if that's game 1 and they wanted to prove a point. People gave them, sold them out or dropped them and say because Micah gone. But
last night, they didn't get pushed around. And listen, I'll be
honest.
They were very
physical.
I watched that same Dallas Cowboy defense with Micah in lieu of Kenny Clark, and the Eagles ran up, around, through, over,
So let's see what happens. I was impressed.
Now,
they gave a good fight.
Do I miss Micah being able to spy on Jalen Hurts and prevent those scrambles with his speed or make it difficult? Yes.
That's where we missed him yesterday, yeah.
Am I absolutely impressed with Kenny Clark and how they stopped the run game? Yes, I am as well, too. So I think the trade worked out for everybody. People can see it out there. Let's see what Micah does on Sunday. But for Dallas, as far as Kenny Clark, he's going to help stop that run. That defensive unit is going to get better thanks to his arrival. Who knows what we do with the 2 first-round picks? Let's see what Micah does in Green Bay this weekend.
Okay.
But like I said, it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse, Pearly. I had I was nervous. I didn't know what we were going to get.
I wanted to call you last night, but I said, you know what? Let me leave you alone. Let me respect your privacy.
I enjoyed it. I watched it. Normally, and this is not like a a moral victory because moral victories are for losers. But I do find a silver lining in this loss. I think the Cowboys found a silver lining in this loss, something they could build on, which was kind of like good or bad. You get better if you lose. You enhance the things you did right if you win. And looks like Schottenheimer's got it. He reminded me of his dad last night. His team was passionate. They were ready to play, and they did what Marty always taught people to do with his brand of football. Run the football, play good defense, and try win it in the end. And I think if Dallas gets those things together, that's the kind of team they could be, and they could be very successful.
Super duper. Before we let you go, let's take this caller. Caller on the air. How you doing?
Yeah, brothers.
For some reason, Muff, I was so sure this was you. That's why I tell Naughty, let's take this call. What's up, bro?
I knew it was Muff, too.
I agree to everything the two of y'all say, boy. Hey, that game, that was a crazy, awesome game.
It was it was really entertaining game.
7 sports. The first punt come after the lightning storm. Must see with 3 minutes and 40 seconds in the third quarter, the first punt.
Yeah.
Man, hey, Naughty, you all play the world champions good now. Hey, CD had a good first half now. He only get Butterfingers down in the fourth quarter.
I like that.
Yeah, he catch Dropsy in the fourth quarter.
Some big catches.
Yeah.
In the first half.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he kept some drives alive in that first half.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, too, something that a lot of people missed. And yes, CD is partially to blame with all those drop balls, but Miles Sanders had a 49-yard run, looked great on one play, and then when they handed him the ball down deep in Eagle territory, he fumbles the football. But that was a backbreaker right there, too.
You know what? I'm sure that was you. I heard that big F word coming from Owens and Albums.
Correct. That was me.
And I agree with Jerry Jones. That's the best I ever see Dak Prescott play. But he was throwing the CD a lot. He ain't going to Pickens a lot. That's why Pickens ain't had plenty catches.
Don't worry, that coming with Pickens and CD. Trust me, they can balance that out.
Yeah, but Naughty, but if that's game one or the opening season, you could tell you how this year's season could be. But that was but Naughty, them 2 touchdowns, it ain't get touched. He didn't get touched, man.
Yeah,
and he had more yards than Barkley.
But that's right. That's right where they missed Micah because Micah would have been spying on him. He wasn't. I mean, because I saw and when they went that 4th and 5 when he ran up took the quarterback draw. I saw that coming. I said he can run. Watch, he can run. He can run.
That's your poison there, Pearl. You got your pass rusher to deal with him. But now, if we have Micah there last night and no Kenny Clark, Saquon runs for over 100.
Maybe so. Yeah.
But the two of the defenses step up on the second half. They only had 3 points in the second half. The Cowboys didn't score in the second half. And no score in the fourth quarter. So them two defenses crazy.
Yeah.
Only 3 points. You're absolutely right, Muff. Only 3 points scored in the second half.
But you know that happens when you have an hour delay like that. It's a lot to get back, you know. It's a whole lot to get your body back. So I didn't expect, after I saw that, I said, I don't even know I want to watch the rest of the game. But it still turned out to be a really good, entertaining game from the kickoff to the final bit. So I enjoyed it.
Like how they come out with. But,
it was. I anticipated another good win tonight with Kansas City.
Yeah,
and the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
I like the Chiefs and the Chargers, and I think it's going to be a very entertaining game.
It should be.
And I gotta go. Be sure to check everybody up, Muff. Be sure to check us out Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Man, for sure,
the press box.
Yeah.
Yours truly, along with Pearlie and our other co-hosts that'll be joining us on Sunday, 11 to 1. We're talking all Major League sports, baseball, football, basketball, obviously priority on the NFL. So I want you to join me then, me and Pearlie, 11 to 1 on Sunday. But before I get out of here, I like the Chiefs tonight, minus the 3 points for one simple reason. Until the Chargers could prove that they could beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I got to roll with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's it, and that's that.
Ride that ride until the wheel falls off.
Right.
There you go.
Appreciate
both of you brothers, man. Have a great weekend.
Tonight, right?
All right, brother. Yeah, I think so.
Pearlie, handle yourself
all right,
the rest of the day accordingly. I know you shall, my brother. Have a great weekend, Bahamas. We'll talk Monday.
All right, Naughty. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Let me get someone else.
Okay, Muff. Thank you.
All right. Another awesome game tonight again, do then. Link.
All right, brother. Let's take this call before we go to the break. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Yeah, man, Pearlie. What's going on?
Yeah, brother. What you saying?
Pearlie, I thought you was glad Dallas went lose last night.
I let's let the record reflect. I pulled hard against Dallas last night, but when time to analyze the game, I'm gonna be very honest with you, and I'm a realist when it comes to that. It doesn't matter who I pull for the game. You understand what I'm saying?
I know this football time, right? But I want to critique some Bayman things. Right?
Go ahead.
A couple of Bayman things.
Let me hear you.
Like last week Saturday, I heard the Saturday Sports Show, right?
Uh-huh.
they talk about how Buddy Hield talk about how the basketball teams in the Bahamas like they run in a track meet or something.
Yeah, they just run. They grab the ball at the rim and take it to the next hole.
Right, it's like either they chucking that jump or shoot shots like without no passing, and they just trying to get a layup and then.
Yeah.
In the last few games, I'm like, what? They say, what? That's what basketball come to in the Bahamas?
Yeah, it's a lot different.
We need some investment in coaching, man. Clinics and thing, bro.
I hear that, bro. I hear you loud and clear. We do.
You know, we got players who've been off coaching and they still ain't coaching, right? What's going on there?
Yeah.
What happened? They went off in a different. It couldn't be so much a different era because, the women, people talk about women basketball. And, man, the women, you see how the game with Minnesota and Las Vegas, man, the thing that the women playing basketball, they can't jump like high school boys, but they playing fundamentals like them.
They are. That's why I'm a big WNBA fan and a big Angel Reese fan.
Yeah, and one more critique, right?
Uh-huh.
Man, there's a big baseball father who coached and tell me, man, how these brothers trying to get, they getting 40% of these brothers signing bonus. Come on.
I don't know what whatever you contract you sign with the agent that some get. I don't know what the cut is. I need to investigate that.
Man,
but that's a lot. If it's 40%, is a lot. I'm gonna do some research on that though.
That's come on, man. We need to critique these brothers and and let me show you with the basketball thing. You know why we ain't got the same coaching we have in basketball as we have in baseball? Because the basketball guys stay poor.
Take care. Thanks for calling. Let's take halfway break. This is Pearlie filling in for Naughty today on a Guardian Radio's Talking Heads Friday, 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You know that one sandwich that's lived in your head rent-free? It's back! The crispy barbecue bacon sandwich craving is real, and it's making everything crunch. KFC's bringing all the flavor you love with barbecue sauce, crispy onions, cheddar, bacon, and a juicy extra-large filet, all on a buttery toasted brioche bun. It's messy, it's mouth-watering, it's made to crunch. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Nothing beats a Chickchani Challenge. On September 27th, we're bringing the action, a 5K course packed with 20 thrilling obstacles. Start and finish at Fusion Superplex with energy, fun and excitement all around. First time? No problem. Try the Chickchani Light version, built just for beginners. Got kids? Ages 3 to 7 can take on their very own Chickchani Kids Challenge. And this year, we're turning 10. So grab your team, mark your calendar, and come celebrate with us. Visit chickchanichallenge.com to sign up today. Thanks to our sponsors Fusion Superplex, Guardian Radio 96.9, Kalina, RBC, Advantage Insurance, Party Pilots Rentals and Events, Fincastle Media Group, Kalik, and Art of Graphics.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to Talking Heads Friday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. So a big shout out to Mr. Richie over there at NHI. Hope you're doing something. So good to know that you're always there for me. Read a couple of texts. Hey, Naughty and Pearly, if Micah Parsons was in that game, quarterback Jalen Hurts would not be able to run through that defense. You're probably right. What else? Oh, and we talked about the two. Yes, they said the two spitters should have been ejected. And those of you that know, at the beginning of the game, there was this fellas came out fired up, and they went at each other. So they had some pushing and shoving and some talking. And a guy spit over Dak Prescott's shoulder, and it hit Carter. And Carter get mad and spit back on Dak Prescott, but the referee only saw the second spit. And normally it's the one who's throw the second blow who's get caught, you know. Let's see what it's saying here. Early on the Bahamas in sports topic, saw that Mark Notes, Bahamian tennis player, is coaching third seed tennis players. He's still big into it. Suggestions, can Guardian Radio and Print lead the charge on this, please? Bahamians in sports really need to be recognized in an international, all-inclusive way. They may also help boost the morale and hope for those aspiring athletes, sports, business persons, beside promoting an awareness for national pride. Amen. Hashtag Bahamian in sports. Hashtag save our children through sports. I got you, Mr. Dexter. Naughty and I have been talking about that, and we need to act on that a little quicker. So I'm going to have a closer conversation about that with Naughty and with the sports editor, Sheldon, and see how best if something like that we can make happen, okay? And thanks for the suggestion. I really appreciate that. So, football got off to a great start last night. We got another game tonight with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers, and then a full slate of football on Sunday. And my goodness gracious me, my Dodgers, they giving me a heartache like crazy. They allowed the lousy Pittsburgh Pirates to sweep us and almost shut us up, beat us 5-3 yesterday. But I don't know what's going on with my Dodgers. And I was talking to a good friend, Eddie, today, Eddie Carter. And we huge Dodger fans. We talk about baseball all the time. And I just hope these bats open up when playoff time come. You know, sometimes you see them be like this and be very cold, and then as soon as the playoffs come, they heat up. Sometimes you see them be very hot going into the playoffs, and when the playoffs come, they go cold. But right now, they cold. Couldn't buy a hit. I mean, and the pitching has really been good. Yeah, we gave up 5 runs, but when you got so much pressure on you and your team is not scoring runs, you tend to be, oh boy, I don't know what to say. But last night was very frustrating for me, very frustrating. And the fact that we lost, we gave up a half a game to the Padres yesterday. The White Sox, they beat everybody except the Twins. Everybody beat them except the Twins. They beat the Twins. The Yankees won last night, 8-4. They had a pretty good night. I don't know, Chisholm, he went 0-2 yesterday. But that's baseball. The Royals beat the Angels, the Rays beat the Guardians, and the Phillies again beat the Brewers. The Phillies again. So right now what's happening is the Brewers and the Phillies are pulling away from 1-2 in the National League, and the Dodgers will finish third. That means they'll play one of the lower seed wild card team, which is the Mets at this time, in a best 2 out of 3, and I do not like those series. I do not like those. But you get what you reap what you sow, or you sow what you reap, whatever you want to say. You reap what you sow. So whatever happens there, we'll see what happens. Tonight, the Dodgers got the Orioles. So I'm interested to see that. Ohtani is pitching tonight against Kramer. Kramer, they're pretty much seeing ERA, 4.0 ERA. So it'll be interesting to see the Mets and the Reds tonight. We've got the Brewers and the Pirates, Chicago White Sox at Detroit tonight. This is going to be a really good game to see. There's the 3-game. This is Toronto. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Yankees play tonight. There's a 3-game. Toronto has a 3-game lead over the Yankees, so they get into a 3-game series. If the Yankees sweep, then we all tied up. So you've got Gosman pitching for the Toronto against Schletter pitching for the Yankees. So that should be a really good game to watch tonight. You got the Phillies and the Marlins, and the Phillies that's giving them a little breather from all the tough games they've been playing. The Mariners at the Braves. The Braves really hurting people's feelings here and there. The Guardians at the Tampa Bay Rays. Minnesota Twins at the Kansas City Royals. This is going to be another good game. The Astros and the Rangers tonight. The Giants and the Cardinals tonight. And to talk about, you got pressure on you to win. Dodgers got pressure. Now you send in the Padres into Colorado. And Colorado did give the Dodgers a tough time, and Colorado, they played better teams well. But the Padres in Colorado tonight, Athletics at the Angels, the Red Sox at the Diamondbacks, and the game that already been played, the Cubs beat the Nationals 11-5. And then college football is tonight as well. You've got James Madison. This is some of the top games. James Madison at Louisville, Western Illinois at Northwestern, Northern Illinois at Maryland, and East Washington at Boise State. And a full slate of WNBA games tonight. The Sparks at the Dream. My Girlfriend in the Sky is at the Fever. And by the way, Caitlin Clark is out for the rest of the season. Mr. Caitlin Clark found out, in case you didn't know that. She announced yesterday she's been having a lot of problems with her groin. And saying that the Fever may not make the playoffs, it don't make sense for her going out there and further injure it. So she gets some time to rest up and be ready for next season. So the Sky at the Fever tonight. And then the New York Liberty defending champion with Jonquel Jones, Bahama Mama, is at the Seattle Storm tonight. So, the U.S. Open is still going on. Right now, I see number 2, Djokovic playing Alcaraz. Alcaraz has won 2 and is leading 5-2 in the third set right now. So that's going to be interesting to see. That could be, I think he's going to go home. And then center number 1 is playing our girl Alice May tonight afterwards. That's 1 against 25. So just getting the U.S. Open is wrapping up this weekend. The champion, I guess the men play today, and the championship for the men on Sunday, and I think the women are tomorrow. Of course, you have a lot of World Cup qualifying coming up right now. All right, teams in Africa, Somalia beating Guinea. You have the Congo and Sudan. You have Namibia and Malawi. Kenya, Gambia beat Kenya. That's interesting. South Africa shut out Lesotho. Zimbabwe lost to Benin. This is interesting. Uganda beat Mozambique 4-0. Burkina Faso 6-0 over Djibouti. The Congo tied with Tunisia. Senegal and Sudan. Sudan lost to Senegal 2-0. These are interesting. Ethiopia losing to Egypt. Niger losing to Morocco 5-0. So that's some interesting games. You got Bermuda and Jamaica tonight, Haiti and Honduras tonight, Trinidad and Curacao and Nicaragua and Costa Rica tonight. Some other games went on. Czechia beat Montenegro 2-0. Israel won. There you go. Israel won. Greece beat Belarus. Switzerland, who's been a World Cup powerhouse, shut out Kosovo 4-0. Sweden tied with Slovenia. That's interesting. Scotland and Denmark was a 0-0 score. France shut out Ukraine. Interesting, 2-0. Italy beat Estonia 5-0. They needed that win. Croatia beat Faroe Islands 1-0. Then you got Australia beating New Zealand. Romania losing to Canada 3-0. And China Taipei losing to Indonesia 6-0. So World Cup, that's friendlies. But World Cup qualifying is heating up right now. I think the World Cup is next year. So I'm excited about that to see what's going on like that. The Bahamas will not be in the World Cup next year, so don't look forward to that, anybody. Just so you know. All right? Just so you know. We're going to get to the picks in a few minutes. Full slate of, I already talked about a full slate of baseball games. Tomorrow's a full slate of hockey, of NCAA football tomorrow. And we just touch quickly on so you can take a look at some games you may want to watch tomorrow. You have Texas Tech hosting Kent State. Number 2, Penn State is hosting Florida International. They should walk. They are 43-point favorites. They should beat them by that much. Jump to 14. They got East Tennessee. SMU is hosting Baylor. Illinois got Duke. Iowa State at Iowa. That's always a big game for Iowa. Texas, who was number 1, dropped to 7. They got 36-point favorites over San Jose State. They should do that. Texas A&M got Utah State. Who else playing tomorrow? What other big? Georgia Tech and Gardner Webb. It's a giveaway game. Miami of Ohio. Ole Miss got Kentucky tomorrow. Number 6, Oregon got Oklahoma State. Number 8, Clemson is hosting Troy. Number 4, Georgia, Austin Peay. They don't even have numbers for that. That'd be such a blowout. Number 1, Ohio State playing Grambling State. That's going to be interesting to see. Fresno State playing Oregon State tomorrow. Number 13, Florida against South Florida. Usually at the beginning of the season, it's a lot of the giveaway games, except you get those one or two games like Texas and Ohio State. Lastly, that's the bait you in. But after that, you can have some giveaway games. Miami, number 5, Miami get Bethune-Cookman. They should beat them pretty soundly. South Carolina get South Carolina State. That's interesting. Oh, this is going to be an interesting game tomorrow. Michigan and Oklahoma. I look forward to that. I probably watch that tomorrow night. LSU got Louisiana State, Arizona State, Mississippi State. That should be quite interesting. There's a whole bevy of games tomorrow. Let's get to the pick. We're just doing one game tonight. On Sunday morning when we do the press box, we will do our picks. Naughty and I and our guests will do our picks. So today I'm just going to do the game tonight. Naughty already tell you that he's taking Kansas City tonight. He's taking them in the points. They're let's see what they got them here. I think 3.5-point favorites. Yeah, 3.5-point favorites. He's taking them in the points. I'm going to ride with Kansas City in the points as well tonight. Until they lose, I'm going to ride with them. Until the Chargers can beat them, I'm going to ride with them. So that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Just before I go, I got one more text to read. Pearly, what do you think about Caitlin Clark out for the season? Tell Angel Lee she needs to hold the WNBA together. It's Angels League. It is Angels League. It's a big loss to Indiana, but I think it's a wise choice for her to sit it out and get her growing back together. Indiana's not going to make the playoffs. This has been Pearly, filling in for Naughty today on a Talking Heads Friday. Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. See you on Monday. See you on Sunday. Press Box, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Join us as we talk everything sports.
Don't settle for ordinary when you can have the Farmhouse King only at Burger King Nassau. It's back! Sink your teeth into 100% flame-grilled beef, stacked with crisp bacon, melty American cheese, crispy onions, a fried egg, and the bold sauce that adds the perfect kick for a flavor sensation fit for a king. Grab the Farmhouse King as a combo with fries and a drink, or go all in with the Farmhouse King's Feast. It's bigger, it's better, and it's only at Burger King Nassau.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello. This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
The new Guardian Radio Sunday is here with a full day of diverse programming, kicking off with the first and last word in sports, the Press Box with Naughty and Earl the Pearl, followed by Temple Time, Caribbean and Urban American gospel hits, Vital Voices, Sisters in Christ, and Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, Remark with Garth Roseborough, Let's Talk Together in English with Lady T, Sundays starting at 11 a.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl, on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content.
You know, a lot of people would not do a Blazing 5 to start the year because, well, I'm terrible in week 1. But it's too much fun. Let's have a good 5 minutes here with my picks. I feel good, as I always do. I felt good every week last year. That didn't mean anything. And here we go with our opening Blazing 5.
Let's blaze it up. Fire it up. It's Colin's Blazing 5. Giants at Commanders.
I like the Giants plus 6.5. At least one underdog of 6+ points has won outright in week 1. I think the Giants could be the play. They played 9 one-score games last year, and both games against the Commanders were close. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. This is a top 2 or 3 defensive line. And, I mean, let's be honest. It's week 1. We saw what D-lines can do last night. Malik Neighbors, matchup problem, even with Dan Quinn. Back end of the defense last year for Washington was a bit of a mess. The Commanders, great year, but they played 12 one-score games, and their defense, again, was bad with a defensive coach. So I think the Debo Terry McLaurin thing is fascinating, but I think it won't be perfect until later in the season. This is a go-either-way game. I'll take Washington to win, but 6.5, I'm taking it with the Giants. 27-23, Commanders close.
Steelers at Jets.
I like the Jets plus a field goal. This is the lowest over and under. I'm going to take the home dog plus the 3 points. They held fourth-quarter leads in 6 of their 12 losses last year. The Jets were in games, and that's with an old quarterback that couldn't extend plays. Now they have a young quarterback that can. The Steelers had a lot of turnover. Left tackle gone, quarterback gone, best receiver gone, best running back gone. With a defensive culture, you think they're going to look good in week 1? My takeaway is the wrong team getting points here. I think the Jets roster is good, and I've got a young quarterback who played in Pittsburgh and knows their personnel. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers, with all these new parts, week 1, last 3 times, week 1 he started. He's lost all of them and has not played well. And he's not the most committed guy in the offseason. I like the Jets here to win straight out 24-20 money line, baby.
49ers at Seahawks.
I like the Seahawks. Do you know, since Lumen Field opened up in 2002, Seattle's got the best home winning percentage. 9-1 record at home, week 1. And by the way, 6 of their final 8 games last year, after the bye, they won. They needed a bye for this new coaching staff, and they've upgraded at coordinator. They're going to run the ball. They're going to speed the game up. Gray Zabel, the draft pick, watch them run the ball. Sam Darnold's an athletic upgrade at quarterback, and the Niners, McCaffrey's banged up. Brandon Ayuk's out. Greenlaw's gone. Hufunga's gone. By the way, Niners were not great against their division last year. They were 1-5 in division and 2-6 on the road last year. They were not a great road team or a division team, and their red zone defense, that's why they brought Saleh in, was a bit of a mess. It was 31st. I like the Seahawks and the points to win straight out 24-23.
Lions at Packers.
I really like Green Bay. Bet of the weekend. Young team entering their prime. Added Micah Parsons. I like Green Bay here. Only team in the league, top 5 offense and total defense. And by the way, we think to ourselves, Jordan Love wasn't great last year. I went and looked it up this morning. Final 7 games last year, 9 touchdowns, no picks. He's fine. Lions lost both coordinators. If they do replace them Deftly, it'll probably be later in the season. And Dan Campbell's not been a good underdog coach. 12-21-1 as an underdog head coach. When they got better players, they win. When they're at home with better players, they win. On the road, do they have better players than Green Bay? I'm not sure. Jared Goff without McVay and Ben Johnson, never been quite as good. I like Green Bay to win outright 28-24.
Texans and Rams.
Take the under 43.5. 19th ranked scoring offense, Texans against the 20th scoring offense. Here's the truth about the Rams last year. Didn't have a great point differential, even with Stafford. Both teams come into the season with O-line issues. Stafford's back's an issue. Left tackle Alaric Jackson, blood clots, didn't practice a ton. And the Texans beat up on their division. They were 5-1 against the AFC South. They weren't great out of their division. They've got a first-time play caller at offensive coordinator and a lot of new faces on the offensive line. And I am here to tell you, the Rams' defensive front is filthy and getting better. I think it is a very low-scoring game. The over-under is 43.5. It feels like 2017 or 21-17. Rams, to me, probably at home. I give them the edge, but I'm taking the under here. Take the under 43.5. J-Mac, any thoughts on that?
Love the Jets pick. That's my favorite of your five outside of the Packers, which I also have. But that 49ers one, you didn't really mention the Christian McCaffrey missed practice yesterday. Then the 49ers did not make him available to the media. I have him in multiple fantasy leagues, and I'm sweating bullets.
Oh, I feel so terrible for you.
Thanks, friend.
You need to go into every weekend with a little humility.
How about Brock Purdy taking over that game and winning on the road, beating your guy?
He would deserve credit. That's a tough.
No Ayuk, and if McCaffrey doesn't...
Steve Keim told me a week ago. I said, where did you hate going when you were in Arizona? He goes, Seattle. He goes, that is a rough place to play. He goes, that crowd lubricates. They're ready to roll. So I was watching that game last night, and Micah Parsons is really talented, and CeeDee Lamb is crazy talented. But we all get the value of Dak. And if you look at Dak's impact on the Cowboys' career, when Dak plays and Dak starts and Dak's healthy, they're 76-46, and they average 27 points a game. A lot of wins in the NFL. When Dak doesn't play, they average a touchdown less. And he does not throw the prettiest ball. But he's on his third coaching staff. There's always constant drama around him. He's had multiple, I think 3 CeeDee Lamb drops. But yet, once again, when Dak is healthy, they're either winning or they're in games. And Dak Prescott could have had a spicy podcast. Now, that was Micah. Dak Prescott could have his own radio show. No, that's the owner, Jerry. Dak could have both of those. His focus, once again, is on the game and is usually on Sunday. So I've used a term for years and years. I call it quarterbackial, like presidential, quarterbackial. And I think last night was a great example of quarterbackial. This is why I've been tough on Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel or silly quarterbacks or Drew Lock dancing on the sideline. Stop it. Grow up. There is drama everywhere with Dallas every second. And last night, before the game, you got a guy spitting at him, Jalen Carter. Dak doesn't react. Dak doesn't react. Well, Dak spit first. Dak spit on the ground. And then Jalen Carter comes up and spits on him. Like, Dak's spit is, he's got Cowboys in front. If he was trying to spit at somebody, he would have been spitting on Cowboy teammates. This is quarterbackial. The grown-up in the room. Here's Dak on the spitting incident.
I just spit ahead, but I would say he was back there where Jory was in that sense, and he asked, or he goes, "You trying to spit on me?" And at that point, I mean, I felt like he was insulting me. Like, I wouldn't spit on somebody. I'm damn sure not trying to spit on you. Like, we're about to play a game. I'm wondering why you're trying to mess with the rookie. And so when I stepped through, I actually say the words like, "What the hell would I, excuse me, but I'm probably even more colorful. What would I need to spit on you for?" And he just spit on me in that moment. And it was more of a surprise than anything.
Okay, I 1,000% trust Dak on that. Dak's history and resume tells you he wouldn't spit on somebody. Jalen Carter, as great as he is, half the teams in the league took him off the draft board. He's been immature. He's had some emotional stuff. I 1,000% trust Dak Prescott. I will look at your life resume. If you get into chaos or an incident, your resume will tell me if you're being honest. Dak is being honest. Dak would not spit on Jalen Carter knowing he is the face of a $10 billion franchise on Thursday Night Football, a game that's got 30 million people or 40 million people watching. Dak has self-awareness. Jalen Carter, apparently none. By the way, here was another moment where I loved Dak last night. So CeeDee Lamb drops. Who's the quarterback I always talk about? Body language. Pouts. Grabs it. Stands by himself on the sideline. CeeDee Lamb, drop. Did you see a confrontation? Was Dak screaming? Did he have bad body language? No. Again, life is not about just action. It's reaction. And 2 moments last night, the Jalen Carter spit and the CeeDee Lamb drops. And again, stoicism, EQ, IQ, self-awareness. This is really the value of Dak Prescott. He is the dependable local meteorologist standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is whipping, sleet and hail sideways with the Cowboys, and here's the grown-up in the room. So I thought last night watching him, I hope everybody appreciated all those drops would drive half the quarterbacks in this league nuts. Dak is like, well, we may get the ball again. I can't get into it. We got time left. And that ball's caught. Dallas wins the game. So just, listen, Dak does not throw the prettiest ball. Dak's had a second surgery. I've said before, I think he's a great B+. I have always compared him to Kirk Cousins.